$18,000 in profit freelancing on Fiverr. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it yourself as well. Because when I started out, like, I'm not anything special. I'm from Mexico. I speak Spanish, hablo español. So I'm not anything special. I don't even have a degree or anything. And this is actually very achievable. But the reason why I'm recording this video is because I realized that Fiverr is really a very untapped platform, because here's when I started back in March 2020, and by month three, I was already making close to 10 grand a month. You know what I'm saying? And this is life changing money because this is like completely freelancing. I didn't have any team, it was just myself. And to earn this amount of money, especially coming from a third world country, is really life changing. And it wasn't anything crazy. I wasn't doing anything crazy. So I'm gonna explain to you how I did it. So as you can see here, by the end of this video, you will basically learn how to make $10,000 freelancing on Fiverr, how to get started on Fiverr, the common mistakes on why most people fail, especially freelancing, and why freelancing on Fiverr is underrated. Because I'm pretty sure you have not listened to someone who has actually done like this amount of money. And I mean, I'm not saying like I'm the one who made the most money. There's a lot of people making a lot of money on Fiverr, and that means that there's a lot of opportunity, but very few people are actually teaching it. So this might be a good opportunity for you guys. So for example, who is this for? Basically, if you want to make money, this video is for you. If you don't have any money and want to make money, or you have a little money, this is for you. If you want to quit your 9 to 5 job, this is for you. And if you want to travel around the world, if you want to make more money, or all the above, this video is for you. So stay with me because you're gonna learn much more that you didn't know before. So let me just go ahead and go straight forward. Because before you ask, first of all, you don't need to have any experience whatsoever or skill when you're starting out. This is something you need to be pretty much like taken out of your mind, because a lot of people are limited, like, oh, but I don't know what to sell. I'm not sure if I can sell X type of services. Like, it really doesn't matter. So just stay with me, okay? So again, you don't need any money to begin with. That's the beauty about Fiverr, that you don't need any money to begin with. Because when I was starting out, like, I didn't have any money. I was starting on freelancing on Fiverr because I wanted to have money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about I was quite broke. And then you don't need to have any sales calls, you don't need to be chasing clients. That's the beauty about it, because it was all closed through texting on my computer or on my phone. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need to have any sales calls, because I know a lot of people can get a little bit nervous when talking with clients. So don't worry, you can be completely anonymous. So I was saying here, you don't need a team. You can be basically freelancing by yourself, and you don't need to show your face. So it's a very, very good opportunity for most people, because of this, you're reducing pretty much all limitations by checking all of this. So now copy me and pay attention, because there's quite a few key elements in order to succeed. And the very first thing is that you need to be selling something that people already buying from other people. You meaning, like, you need to be selling something that it's on demand. Like, for example, we have web design, we have copywriting, we have video editing, we have voiceovers. Like, personally, my industry was web design, and the reason being is because I was starting just because I was good at e-commerce. In fact, the reason why I started like freelancing was because I wanted to fund my e-commerce business. So I started offering e-commerce services, and then it took off. Web design took off. I wasn't aware of it. I was aware like quite a few years afterwards, but then I realized, and it was because I was selling something that it was on really high demand. So you need to be focusing on that. And again, you don't need to be an expert on that. And I'm gonna talk to you about it in a little bit. Also, another thing which is a good element for success is that you don't need to have like you don't have to be robotic. You just have to be a normal person. Speak with the clients. You have to remember there's someone behind the screen actually speaking to you, so you don't want to be super formal and everything. They want to pretty much like have the feeling that they're talking with a human being. So this is something very important, and you must keep it in consideration. Also, you need a good offer. Please read Russell Brunson's book on how to make irresistible offers. Pretty much anything that Russell Brunson teaches is about how to make good offers. So read that one, because that will be like pretty much the make or break of your business. And you need to be having like a good offer. Like, you need to be pretty much making the customer envision the end result also at a good price. You know what I'm saying? Just not enough by saying, I offer web design services. Like, yeah, there's 100,000 people offering the same services. Why would they pick you? So this is very, very important, and it's actually very simple, because most of your competition on Fiverr are really not good. That's why I became the number one in the world in Fiverr within the first 12 months, because it was so easy to outcompete the sellers on Fiverr. So you have to be selling better than the competition. That's pretty much the name of the game. You need to be selling your service better than the competition. Why? Because if there's money on the industry you're in, then you just need to be selling better than the competition. That's why I'm saying like you need to be selling something that it's on demand. Like for example, any of these niches, or there's even much more than that. There's a lot of people. I think the highest on demand actually is social media marketing. There's people probably they're making over $100,000 a month. But I don't know. I just think like based on what I've researched, like they could be making close or over $100,000 a month. So you just need to pick a service and sell it better than the competition. I'm gonna talk about later on how you can do it without any skills whatsoever. So don't worry about that. So also another thing is like you need 5-star reviews, because pretty much Fiverr is like Airbnb. People trust you based on your testimonials and reviews. And I understand that when you're starting, it might be a little bit tricky. Like, oh, but how would someone purchase from me if I don't if I don't have any reviews and anything? That's where it comes into play, like how to sell it better than the competition. Because I started from ground zero. Like check it over. Like I was here, and then how I was able to go from one sale to 3 grand, 8 grand, 9 grand, and all that stuff, all the way to 18,000, and so on, so on, so on. I can show you this later, like more about the. Well, let's go. Let's go into 2021. As you can see here, this is my biggest month actually. It's here almost. This is close to $50,000. I'm gonna explain to you later on, but like this was actually close to $50,000 in profit. But even if it says 36 rand is pure profit, and that's really life changing money. So there's this is pretty much proof that you can do it, and I'm gonna teach you how. So please follow me along, because again, like most people don't understand, and they just pass this opportunity, and it's like I mean, I've been gatekeeping this information because I wasn't sure why I was successful. It took me like quite a few years to understand why I was successful, because I thought Fiverr was just blessing me for some reason. I thought it was just Fiverr's favorites, because it didn't really make sense how I went from like this to making a lot of money. It's like lagging, but like this, and I was like making a lot of money, and I was like, why me? Like, why me? When I'm gonna explain to you why me. And also like as you can see here, I got quite a few dips over here, so it was not all pink and rainbows. So as you can see here, then we have how to start, like, because you might be wondering, okay, 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 all good, but how do I start? Okay, stay with me. Okay, so how to begin? First of all, you need to go to fiverr.com and then register an account, and then you fill your profile. Watch my other videos. I have other videos explaining like everything over. So I have here a YouTube video regarding that. So yeah, you can check that over, how to set up Fiverr account to make money for beginners, and yeah, you can check that one over. But let's go here. Yeah, so then we go here and research and select your services to sell. This is very important because, of course, like you need to be selling something that it's on demand. That's what I was telling you. I told you that it was video editing or website design. So let's go ahead and go to fiverr.com. We are here. And let's just type, I don't know, website design. If we go here, we can check. This is how you can actually do your like your service research in order to see which services are on high demand. Like for example, these guys featured as Fiverr's choice, right? I will create a WordPress website design and development. Let's see. I mean, this means that they have over 1,000 orders completed. So he's a trustworthy guy. So as you can see, you click here and let's see how many orders he have in queue. Damn, this stuff is lacking. Okay, so he has 46 orders in queue. Look at their prices, and then also look that people are coming back to him. So this guy is making a lot of money. Just do the math. Just do the math. Even if he's selling for $200, 46 orders in queue, like you can understand what's pretty much how much they're making. Especially if they have people coming back, monthly recurring revenue, they're making a lot of money. So there's people like him like all over the place. Website design, let's try it again. It's just like it's lacking. So yeah, let's see. There's a lot of people just making money. Let's say it really depends, because the reason or how you make more money than these people is how to sell better than the competition, because he might be not getting like a lot of money. Let's say this one. Let's see how many orders he have in queue. And I can tell you exactly the reason why. Yeah, he has only 20, right? The reason why the other guy is actually getting more orders is not because of the reviews or anything. Like, yeah, this counts a little bit, but it's much more because how to sell your services. You need to be offering a good service, like a good offer. This is something very important that you need to be pretty much keeping in consideration. So that's something very important. That's why I'm saying like you need to be selling better than the competition, and then you need those 5-star reviews, because it's like Airbnb. You need to be having like those 5-star reviews in order for customers, buyers trust more in you. That's pretty much the name of the game, and that's what I'm saying. Like Fiverr, it's pretty much a game. You can freelance on Fiverr, make a lot of money if you understand how Fiverr works. The reason why most people fail, it's because they don't have an understanding of how Fiverr works. So, for example, you need to be getting momentum. Momentum is very, very, very crucial when you're starting out. You cannot be just relaxing, because first of all, you need to wait for prospects when you're starting up. Because when you're starting out, it's not like people are just gonna be flooding you with messages, because there's a lot of people on Fiverr. Again, let's go back here. If we go to web design, let's go to web design. Let's see how many people are actually here. You have over 39,000 results, meaning that there's a lot of competition. But guess what? They're whack. Most people are whack. The only people that actually matter are on the first few pages. The other people are just whack. And don't get discouraged like, oh, but I don't get like into the first page. It's going to take a long time. It really doesn't matter. You build momentum. I'm going to explain to you also. But also Fiverr has some ad services that you can see here. So ad by, and they put you on the first page. So as long as you have a proven offer that people are purchasing from you, having advertisement is pretty much like a money printer. It's very easy because as long as they put you in exposure to the marketplace, you're gonna make money, and that's just the reality. So okay, so you need to be pretty much like waiting for at least 3 to 4 weeks, as you can see here. 3 to 4 weeks is usually what it takes for you to get your first not sale, your first prospect, because you don't have control over it. It can take less, it can take like a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 1 week, maybe 1 month. It really depends. I've seen lately that the algorithm is pushing a lot new sellers. So that's a big advantage for new sellers because they want to give everyone an opportunity. But that's where you have to take your opportunity, because you need to prove the marketplace that you're worth it, and you need to prove Fiverr that, hey, I'm a good one and I'm going to be selling better than the competition, which therefore they will start pushing you. So as you can see, you can also boost the algorithm by asking your friends in a subtle way, because you cannot circumvent the policies and everything. Fiverr knows when you create like a fake order. So you need to be very subtle. Like you cannot just ask somebody like on the side of you just to create an account and purchase from you right off the bat. You need to be pretty much making sure they may be in different locations and they purchase from you. Maybe not a $5 order, but let's say for $10 or something subtle, because you want to be selling your service anywhere around 100 to 500 bucks. That's usually the sweet spot, but it really depends. Once you pick your category, as long as there's money in it, like it doesn't matter whether it's less than 100 bucks. I usually suggest, again, sweet spot 100 to 500 bucks, but it really depends on your preference. But once you start, you need to be like, you need to get momentum. That's the most important thing. Okay, you need to get momentum, and in order to get momentum, you need sales. So therefore, you need to ask your friends to purchase from you. Like, let's say two friends for $5, another friend for $15, another one for $10, and that way you can start getting your 5-star reviews, which therefore will trigger the Fiverr algorithm by telling like, okay, this new seller is actually doing good. Let's start slowly pushing, and that's when you need to take momentum. Because momentum is the name of the game. If you want to start earning quicker, like you need to momentum, because you need to be closing them on the spot. Let's say once you start getting your real prospects, someone who is like interested in your service, you need to close them on the spot. So in order for that, don't be afraid of lowering your prices at the beginning, because let's say you're offering your services anywhere between 100 and 500 bucks. Don't be afraid of selling. Like that's when it comes into place, creating a very good offer. That's what I was doing here. You know what I'm saying? Something this is when I start like creating very, very good offers, but I wasn't like sacrificing my prices. So when you're starting out, in order to get like a little bit more momentum, in order to get more clients, you need to be willing to sacrifice your margins. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're selling your service for 200 bucks, let's say 250, just tell them like, hey, it's just like you sell like, that's when you have to become creative on how to create a good offer. You need to convince them that that you will deliver not only a good service. You need to be master of all details, meaning like any question, you need to be an authority. You need to be acting like as an authority, and don't worry. That's why I'm saying like you need to be an expert, because you have ChatGPT. You can just ask him like, just make a prompt like, hey, I'm going to offer web design services. Can you just make sure what are the list of things I need to memorize in order to be an authority? Or you can just get creative with it. Like when I started out, there was no ChatGPT. Okay, there was no ChatGPT. I was just learning through YouTube. So that's the thing. But you need to be pretty much like offering a lower ticket service. So for example, $50 or something like that. Because let's say, okay, you're offering for $250. You can just ask the client like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm just a new seller that will help me a lot. I can give you like a very good service. There's no risk whatsoever in getting started with me if I can offer you this for $50 instead of 250, because you're my first buyer. And and there's no risk whatsoever, because once you, I mean, Fiverr only pays me once you're happy with the service I deliver to you. So don't worry about that. You need to convince them so you can get momentum, you know? So then once you start getting your first client, you can either study or delegate. You know, it's very easy to actually study or delegate because you don't need to be focusing, you just need to be focusing on making the sale. You don't need to be focusing on becoming an expert for offering your service. That's the worst thing you can do, you know, because you need first to validate that you're actually gonna make money. So when you start making clients or getting clients, you're gonna start, okay, that's when you're gonna automatically get the urge, the need to start learning more about it. How can you learn more about it? You can just go to youtube.com and find like how to do web design, how to do copywriting, how to do whatever. You can ask ChatGPT, you know what I'm saying? Or therefore you can also delegate it. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, you're in web design, you can just go here, go to the last pages, let's say to the 10th page or whatever, and you can just go, let's say somewhere, let's go to the 15th. Yeah, let's go a little bit further because it's actually okay. Let's go here. Here, like, there's gonna be people that they don't have pretty much any sales or they're not getting any orders and whatnot. So that's when you can negotiate with them. You know, like for example, these guy. I don't know. Just, let's try with this guy. I will build a website design response, whatever it is. Okay, he has some orders, but you need to find someone who has like little orders and just tell him like, hey, this is a win-win situation. You're getting prices for I don't know, $50 or $250, and maybe these guys charging just $100. You can just negotiate with them in order to delegate it and fulfill the service delivery. You know. So that's not an issue. You will figure that out eventually. That's not your problem at the moment. Your only problem when starting out is making the sale. You don't need to become an expert. Again, this is very important because that's where a lot of people just lose time. They want to become an expert on web design, video editing before offering the service. You don't. You don't. You figure that out later. When I was starting out building websites, I was terrible at it. I'm telling you like a 3 out of 10, but still people left me with the 5-star reviews because I was just providing good communication and good services. And even although like the client thought it was a good job, you know, but now that I look back, it was like, no, it was terrible, you know. So you don't need to be an expert. You develop over time. You know, your only goal again is just to make the sale. That's the only thing you have to do, you know. So you can use, as I was telling you, like some AI service. I mean, AIs or hiring someone for cheaper in order to deliver the service, and you just keep the difference. And yeah, so it's like pretty much this snowball effect, you know, because once you get your first buyer and give good service, you start getting, like for example, you get buyers give you 5-star reviews. So therefore, the more orders you get equals more reviews equals more exposure. The more exposure you get, the more buyers you get, the more money you make, you know. But you don't stop when getting prospect. You don't stop. You don't stop and sit back and relax. You need to keep the momentum, you know, because Fiverr needs to understand that you're making money, you know, because if you're making money, they're making money. Everybody's making money if you get orders, you know. So the more momentum you have, it becomes like a snowball effect. That's what it happens here, like boom, boom, boom. And I started going up. And then I just crashed a little bit because of I was delivering not good service, which is something I learned over time. But I was very, very good at selling. And since I was very good at selling, I was able to go back. And then in 2021, that's where I was able to make a lot of money because that's when I picked with my selling, how to sell my service. But then my service delivery was whack. And that's what happens here. And then I was again back on here. And then my service delivery was whack, meaning that my buyer satisfaction dropped a lot. And Fiverr said, you know what, like you're not delivering good services. And that doesn't mean 5-star reviews. That's something different. But buyer satisfaction was wrong. Even although I get 5-star reviews, buyer satisfaction was wrong. And that's why I crashed very big, you know. So yeah, it's pretty much what it is. And as you can see here, you're like some proof because you get like a lot of people leave you just with 5-star reviews. Like that's not a problem. Most people are actually very good buyers and they're just gonna give you 5-star reviews. Also, you need to be making sure you're delivering good service, right? But most people will just leave you with 5-star reviews. But you have to be very careful when starting out because you cannot afford to have a 1-star review when starting out. That will hurt your account very much. So you need to be focusing that before actually you deliver the service, you need to be making sure like, hey, buyer, are you happy with my service in order for them to give like a 5-star review, you know? So then eventually you get promoted as Fiverr's choice, which is what I showed you before, because Fiverr's choice means that you're just delivering good service and they just expose you, overexpose you, and you get more and more prospects, you know? So that's something very good. It happened to me many times. So I've been featured with Fiverr's choice a lot of times, and you're pretty much the best one on your category. It's really not that hard though. It's really not that hard. You just need to be understanding how the game works, you know? As you can see here, that's why I'm saying like delivering good service and sometimes over delivering whatnot, because like, oh, all this is so valuable. How did you decide to only charge X amount of money for the base cost? You know, so you need to be always over delivering because that pretty much ensures your 5-star reviews, and that's how you make pretty much 10 grand a month. You know what I'm saying? So of course, like this varies a lot. So you can make 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 5 grand a month, whatever is a good number for you, you can actually achieve it. But the main reason why most people actually fail freelancing on Fiverr is because they don't understand how it works. And freelancing in general, they try to offer services just because you feel an expert on some service. Look, you can be an expert in just painting something. But if people are not interested in paintings or in your painting, nobody's gonna purchase from you anyways. So you need to be making sure you're selling something that it's on demand. That's the biggest mistake I've ever seen. People trying to offer services that they're like people are not interested in it. And second is that okay, they're offering services such as web design, and guess what? You don't have communication skills. You're not good at pretty much delivering service. You don't understand how to create a good offer, how to take care of the client. Like how to make sure that they feel comfortable. Like offering support, offering after service support. All these little things matter, and that's why it's very easy once you understand and read some books, like for example Russell Brunson's book and other sort of books which develop some mindset. That's when you can pretty much make a lot of money. And trust me, I'm nothing special. I'm Mexican. Again, I'm Mexican, hablo español, so this is not my first language. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was still able to make a lot of money just freelancing on Fiverr. This is where I started again, and it's really possible. Anybody can do it. Just copy what I'm saying. Just copy this. Pay attention to this. Read it. Well, I mean, check this over and over again, because just by watching these videos, it's not gonna make any difference. Just because you watch it one time, you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, this makes sense." It's not gonna happen. You need, and this I'm telling you because it's a psychology thing that I've studied a lot. Like you need to be watching a video over and over again, because then these things, this what I'm explaining becomes a part of your character. So you naturally start to act according to what I'm saying, according to the principles I'm saying. So that's why, for example, if you read a book, you need to be rereading over and over and over again. Because, for example, if you read a lot, Russell Brunson, guess what? Let's say you read Expert Secrets or whatever it is, like whatever book you decide to read, you will start to pretty much act different, because the more you read, that information becomes a part of your character. So therefore your perception changes, and that's when you start like creating a new reality and living much different. And then you start attracting different things. You start attracting money. You start thinking in ways of how to create like a good offer, so therefore it becomes natural to you. That's how you make money. But just by reading or watching this video once, not gonna make any difference, because you're gonna say, oh yeah, you're gonna forget by tomorrow that you watched this video. You're gonna forget by in 2 days, and that's a fact. Like you can just research that. Like you will forget. You need to be watching this over and over again. Any information that you feel this is very valuable, like, oh, I learned something, read it or listen to it or watch it at least 3 to 5 times, at least, because the more times you listen to it, the more times you actually watch a video, the more it retains information. So yeah, this is just proof that you can actually change it. So just please copy me, and if you have any questions, drop a comment below. And if you want to know more about like a certain service or anything you want to know about the next video, let me know, and I'll be happy to just record one for you guys. So hope this is a good one, and peace.